Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson here with Christy Bennett, telling us things that you don't tell a South Arkansas girl she can't do.
Which is no.
Which is no. Tell us the big news, Christy. This is great news.
Yes, our big news that we are so excited is Hot Springs Village Police Department has obtained our ORI, which is our origination number. Our origination number is what the FBI gives to every law enforcement entity to report their crime statistics and their crime data. So a year and a half in this process, we were told, by the state, we just don't think we can do that. And that's through our ACIC. So just to break it down a little quicker, anytime we run a criminal history or we pull somebody over and suspect them of a crime or we run driver's license checks, it goes through the ACIC terminal. And that is where you have authority to look into their background and ensure that they don't have a warrant, or if they do have a warrant. And then once you do that, you issue your citations or you serve your warrants. So we have always been an umbrella of Garland County. So basically Garland County allowed us to be a subset ORI, but it didn't provide any data or statistics. So like I said, every law enforcement entity in the country is required to provide data and statistics to the state and to the FBI. And that's good because that's accountability. It's accountability for me as a police department on what we're doing and how we are maintaining our professionalism in the law enforcement profession. But also for you. So like you, Dennis, if you're looking at moving into the village and you want to say, hey, what's the crime rate in the Hot Springs Village? Right now, you're not going to find anything because it's never been reported or documented. But now with this origination number, we are the first Arkansas private law enforcement entity to receive an ORI. That doesn't mean it's never been done before. It has been done. It's been done all over the country. We just haven't done it here in Arkansas. So now we will be reporting our crime statistical data to the state of Arkansas and to the FBI, which will determine and establish our true crime rate. And then after a year of reporting, that should open us up and be eligible for state and federal police safety equipment, such as vests, radios, and things like that. So that is something that we will know once we get to that point after a year of reporting is given to both the state and the federal government on being able to apply for those fundings and get that. But it would be very beneficial for us at the police department, but also for our members.
Well, let me explain to the 5 Mile High View real quick, okay? Because you've
Okay.
done a fabulous job on the Mile High View. The 5 Mile High View is that we're a private corporation. We're not a municipality like other people think, or like other people, like other cities, because we're completely private. So these numbers, and ironically, we've discussed this before on this show, and I've discussed it with Ricky Middleton. The bottom line is that we would like to report these numbers because we have great numbers. They're not the world's best, but they're really good numbers. But we can't report those. And let me explain how this goes. And I know, but it's the local entity, in this case being the Hot Springs Village Police Department. They report or look at the information at ACIC, the Arkansas Crime Information Center. That reports up to the NCIC, which is the FBI. And the NCIC actually even looks over at Interpol. So if I get pulled over on the side of the road, Christy looks me up and goes, Dennis, you have a warrant in France, that kind of thing, right? So
Right.
that's how all that works. But we were basically stepchildren, or we were sideline items to this. And now
Exactly.
we are direct participants. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. And that's what's so exciting because, just because, and we are a private corporation. Obviously, this is the best place on the planet. But as the police department and as your chief, I believe in transparency and accountability. And that is so important for every law enforcement agency everywhere in the country to provide all of their residents with that statistical data, because it shows us what we're doing, and it also gives us insight on what we can do better, how we can combat different specific target crime areas. It's just all around very good. And some people in the last week I've heard, oh well, we don't want to do reporting. It's we're not federal government, we're not state government. We are not, but you have a certified sworn law enforcement officer come to your house when you call 911. And I expect the highest level of professionalism from them, from this agency. And that is why we'll be able to show it through numbers. And then not only that, we'll be working on our accreditation next year for best practices as an accredited agency in the state of Arkansas. So, it's just kind of the last year and a half coming to fruition with all the hard work that me and the guys have done into making this happen. And I'm very proud of it.
I tell you what, we're talking, and for those that don't know, and by the way, how do I know so much about ACIC? 34
That's good.
years ago, yeah, how does he know that? 34 years ago, when I started in IT work, one of my first clients was the ACIC. And we had, how shall I say, we had unique challenges at the moment. How about this, Christy? We had a guy who was their IT guy, and they asked me to give like a secondary opinion of him. Uh, but he had, and I'm not exaggerating, he had soldered or welded all the USB ports on the computer shut and disconnected all the floppy drives. Remember floppy drives? Yeah, remember that?
I don't, but that's interesting because that's I guess that was his idea of security back then,
It was.
because
It
that's
was.
what
Yeah.
we do. I mean, and it's how far have we evolved now? So for example, every officer has to be ACIC certified, which means they have to go through the course and be certified to do those things for the state and for the FBI, obviously, for those reporting requirements, but for the computers to be in the cars with all this great mapping, so we'll be able to see and respond to your call 911 faster. It has to be specifically locked down. You cannot have certain things and aspects on this computer that would prohibit the ACIC rules. So there's a lot of things that we're learning that we have to get done in place before we go to this live. And that's a whole other thing. I think we're going to get to that in a minute on our.
Well, congratulations, Christy. Honestly, and I know this is well, you can't do it, and you're like, well, why? Okay, now
Yeah.
why exactly can't we do? Let's dig in a little deeper, and it looks like we can, right?
Yes, yes, yes. There's
Congratulations,
always a way. There's
congratulations.
always a way.
There's always a way. Well, tell me, well, what else is going on? Apparently, there's some kind of radio thing happening.
Well, there's lots of things happening when it comes to our radio. So we are at the final stages of our Motorola communication system project. And when I say Motorola, sometimes people get confused and they think radio only, but no. So in the last 30 years that we've been here at this police department, we've had the same communications equipment, and it is no longer compatible with our next gen 911. So if you call 911 and it doesn't speak to each other with the current reporting system that we have now. It also doesn't have live mapping and things like that. Obviously, we live in the most beautiful place on earth, but that comes with shoddy cell phone reception and shoddy radio communication when it comes to a lot of the topography. Now, I mean, you can spend really any amount of money on radios, and that's never going to go away completely, but it does help. But right now, we're looking at this communication center that we're in the final stages of, that the board so graciously voted on for us almost a year ago. We're 3 months ahead of schedule, and we are in our last final 6 weeks of training and setup for that. So this week is our admin and like specialized training. Last week, we had all of our officers in, and they did the training on the mobile aspects. And the best part about this system is not only that it's going to give the officers the tool to do their job quickly and more efficiently, but we're able to see them real-time live mapping. So whenever an officer is out in the field and they're at a 911 call and they might lose that radio reception, we're going to be able to see, hopefully, a lot better and quicker where they are and where they might need assistance, especially if our residents are out and they need that service as well. We're going to be able to get them a lot quicker because we're going to be able to see it in just a much faster response time. So
you've literally, and just to interrupt just for a second, you've literally till now been shooting blind, right? I mean, you don't know where they are except when they tell you, right?
yes, and then the problem is whenever they can't get the radios to go through, we don't know. So it takes a few minutes, and then you've got other officers having to rush out there to, check and make sure they're okay. So it can be terrifying at times, and that's what we're eliminating, because this job is already hard enough, and our citizens deserve the very best response that we can and the highest professional police services, and that's what we're doing.
Well, so Diane and I staggered into Oaklawn over the weekend. We met a couple at the Bugler Bar looking out over the racetrack. Fabulous, fabulous view, beautiful.
Nice place.
And the couple were from Memphis. And he said they were 620 officers short.
Right.
That's the reality of a big city, Christy. Tell me, I mean, to have people, and we're grateful to have you, literally grateful to have you. The people that service our community, number one, it's a little easier gig than Memphis, I'm sure. I'm assuming it's not the kind of traffic, it's not the kind of calls, it's not all that. But on the other hand, bringing in and retaining people and then explaining to them, oh, by the way, if you're over that hill down in that hollow, we may not hear you for a few minutes, okay?
Yeah. So, officer retention is a nationwide problem. I mean, hands down. And the ASP Colonel Hager, he's doing an excellent job of putting his people first and getting in those officers. Unfortunately, it's taking from a lot of our cities and our local municipalities because they're taking certified officers in, which is something they've never done. But we need them to do that. We need for everybody to be fully staffed. So I understand it completely. But the problem with it is you have these bigger cities, like such as, hold on, let me get that to go. Okay,
No
are we
problem.
good?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're good.
So,
Bigger cities.
the biggest problem with that retention is you've got these bigger cities that are down. That number is unimaginable to me, but you've got other agencies around here that are down 10 or 15 or 20. And when you have an agency that's only got about 100 officers, it's almost critical level. So, that's something that we're all having to deal with here. We're very blessed and very fortunate. I'm down one certified officer position right now. And that was due to somebody retired out. So we're still looking for that perfect person. And it gives us some time to be very selective, because this is a very unique environment, and we're very big on community policing here. So, that's going to be a specific individual, and the openings that we've had have been filled by those exceptional individuals that are looking for this lifestyle. And again, this very unique place. And we've been very blessed. So I do feel for the other, and I go to the chief conventions and things like that, and I see the shortage around and the things that they're trying to do for retention. It's very hard. And basically it comes down to treating your people well, because oftentimes money isn't everything. And there is something to be valued on a police administration that highly values their employees, because it's very easy math. If you have an employee that loves their job, then they're going to be a much better officer, which means the public is going to be treated better. So, that's what we try to focus on around here, is ensuring our personnel are treated very well. Kelly Hale, he's an incredible general manager, and he has that theory throughout the entire POA. So in the last year and a half, I'm so blessed to be part of an organization that just values their employees. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, and I've been in city government for the last 20 years. I can tell you that if Kelly's perception of valuing employees and the way he models his leadership, if it was done in bigger cities and things like that, it makes such a big difference. But, here we are, and I'm just glad we got him. So.
Well, but, not everybody has a police station right across from the lake.
You're right. Not everybody has it, and that view is just incredible. I still feel guilty. I still feel guilty that I'm here and I'm able to do this job and protect, the people that I live right next to, and have an incredible crew. I feel just that I'm just incredibly blessed every day.
Well, we're blessed to have you. I tell you what, Kirsty, we'll see you next time. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, dear.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.